Hi there, my name is Cupicate, and welcome back to clangen. But this is going to be a different story than Hollow Clan. So for those of you wondering why is this posted today instead of ZooQuest, I have a lot I need to do with ZooQuest to make an amazing 100th episode. I'm sorry I'm asking you to wait, but I am really hoping that you're going to enjoy the story that I am about to tell while you wait for ZooQuest to come back, which should only be a couple weeks. My sister's wedding is this weekend, which I'm very excited about, but it has caused me to lose time in working on ZooQuest because I am hand making her guest book, and I'm having to work on that behind the scenes besides all of the YouTube content that I try to put out for you guys. So just be patient, but ZooQuest will come back. Now, back to clangen. So, this is the experimental version of clangen. For those of you that want to know how to get the experimental version, you're going to follow my tutorial just about the same. The only thing that's different is you're going to go to the experimental tab instead of the developmental tab on the GitHub. Download that instead. Otherwise, everything should be the same as far as the instructions go. You still download the tools Pygame and UJSON. I don't think there are any other tools. If there are, please feel free to suggest them down below, but those were the only tools I needed for this to run. Okay, so let's get into it. So as you can see, things already look quite a bit different. We have different modes. Classic mode, which I think is pretty much what's standard. Expanded mode, which doesn't have any new features yet. It's probably going to be about the same as classic mode right now. We may choose expanded mode so that if they do add anything, our clan is already in that mode. But eventually they will be adding Cruel Season, which is not available right now, but it does sound like a lot of fun. So very excited about that up and coming feature to the experimental version. But we're going to go ahead and go into expanded mode. And now you can see we are going into name your clan. So before we do that, I'm going to set the scene for you. So this clan has existed for quite a long time. They live on the cliff sides, the high spires and rocky edges of great mountains. And they've lived there for a very, very long time, even though the flora is sparse and the fauna is even sparser. They've had to struggle to live in this location, but it is sacred to them, and so they will not move. Now, the sun has faded on the horizon for the final time. And even though they live in a place where the sun is often absent in most hours of the day, the sun has not returned. The snows have not ceased. The warmth has not come back to them. Spring has no signs of reappearing. Our clan is facing a new ice age, endless winter, where they will now have to survive, along with two legs that are surviving, as one of the only remaining cat clans left in this brutal, harsh environment. And so our clan's name is Spire Clan. So, to give you some insight on this challenge we're going to be doing, this is a challenge that was also written by Marshmallow Cat 3, who wrote The Path of the Dark Forest for Hollow Clan. This one is called Star's Guilt. Essentially, this is a clan that has to survive in an endless winter and has to make hard, unfortunate decisions in order to keep the clan alive, even though some of those decisions may lead to the deaths of many cats. So let's go ahead and pick out our leader, deputy, medicine cat, and the cats that will be in this clan. So it is important to note there are some very serious details that come with this challenge. Firstly, you need to have your settings set as such. Same-sex cats having kits, that is up to you. I chose to turn it off to give myself even more of a challenge. Mass extinction events are on. Kits with rogues, loners, or unmated cats having kits is turned off. I didn't actually see a setting for that, but I just turned off cats that were unmated, would not have kits. So those are the main settings you need to have. This is also important. Anytime there are kits born, so I think the kits that we add in right now are safe, but anytime kits are born, or maybe if a loner does come in with kits, we have to roll to see if they survive, essentially. So between 1 and 5 has a different option of what happens. 1, all the kits freeze to death. 2, only 1 kit survives. 3, 2 kits survive. 4, half the kits survive. And 5, all the kits survive. So you really want to get that 5. I'm assuming 6 would be a reroll if you're using a 6-sided dice like I will. All elders are supposed to be killed. We are going to exile them instead. I think we get enough death with Hollow Clan. So I decided what the clan will do is say you are no longer useful. You can no longer hunt. So you need to go out into the vast white and find your final days. And they will exile them. And as sad as that is, probably worse than getting killed. Now that I think about it, that is what is going to happen to our elders. As for the medicine cat, because the herbs are so rare, there can only be 1 medicine cat. Once the med apprentice earns their medicine cat name, the other med cat must be exiled because there are not enough herbs for there to be 2. There's probably another reason for that in there that would make a lot of sense, but that is what the challenge entails. And then Marshmallow Cat did give a few ideas of how we could make things more challenging. If for some reason we're doing really, really well, we can add a little bit of a curveball in there to possibly cause some drama. We probably don't want to choose an elder for our leader. It would be a bad idea. Having a senior adult would probably be okay, but understanding that when they become an elder, they will have to be exiled and the deputy will take their place. So, log jump would not be a good option. We have Peatwing, who's a senior adult female who's very confident. I think confidence is good, but can also be a detriment. If you're too confident, you can get yourself into bad situations. So she's a possibility, but let's see what else we've got. We have Coyote Acorn, an insecure female adult. I don't think we're going to want an insecure leader. I think that would be very uncomfortable of a situation to be in, and I think she'd make herself go crazy. It would be very good for drama purposes, but I do want to put a confident leader in there for now. Bristle Holly is a elder, so that is not a good choice. We have Apricot Leaf, a female senior adult who is patient. Now, she might actually be good for a medicine cat. We have Roach Pelt, what a name, who is also an insecure female. This is not good for a leader. We have Kestrel Fire, who is a loving male adult. Loving might be okay, but again, I think we need something a little stronger as a leader. We have Patchagorse, a faithful female adult. Now, I think being faithful could be good as a leader trait, having faith and keeping morale high, but will it get them the results they need? And then there is Rush Flood, who is a sneaky male adult. So after reading all of those, I genuinely think the best option is going to be either Peatwing or Patchgorse. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make Peatwing into Peatstar. She is a senior adult, but she's confident, and I think the clan needs that right now. So we are going to grant this cat their 9 lives. But because Patchgorse was the runner-up, we are going to go ahead and make her the deputy. I think those as a duo will be great because Patchgorse could really help morale-wise when it comes to meetings and helping Peatstar make things comfortable for the cats who are probably panicking right now. Then we need to choose a medicine cat. I did say that Apricot Leaf would be an excellent medicine cat. She is a senior adult, so we're going to have to watch for that. But because she's patient, I like the idea of her being the med cat. Now we have to choose cats that are going to make sense, but this is going to be a very easy choice for us. Essentially, I'm not going to choose the elders. They're going to get exiled anyway, so it would be a waste. So we're just going to take all the other cats and go into the next step. Oh, this is very cool. Oh, I love this. It actually shows you pictures. Classic and Gully. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, I did say Spire Clan lives in the mountain, but let's go ahead and look at some of these just kind of as a sneak peek. So we'll just do the mountain last since that's what we're choosing anyway. So here's the classic beach with the tide pools, but then there's Tidal Cave. Oh, that's so cute. And then the plains, the typical grassland, which I adore, but also tunnels. Were they like underground cats? That's really interesting. I love the skeleton down here. And then there's the mountain with the classic. I do love the classic. Oh, we have to choose the caves. We have to choose the caves. Actually, it might make sense for the cave to insulate a little bit, possibly, and keep them warmer. So it also keeps them out of the blizzard. So them living in a cave would honestly make excellent sense. So we're gonna choose that, not just because it's beautiful, but because it makes sense. And they have a small spring that comes in here. Possibly that fresh water doesn't freeze for them. Oh my gosh, that's absolutely stunning. Let's go ahead and check out our cats and get a little bit more information with them, starting with Pete Star. So Pete Star is a smart leader as well as confident. Her experience is somewhat high. We are going to ignore the backstory of her being the clan founder. The clan has been around for a long time, but because she is the leader, it probably says that. Oh wow, history! This cat is one of the founding members of the clan. Well, it is possible we could say that she was a kit when the clan was created, and therefore it makes her a founding member, but she is not a founding member. Like I said, this clan has been around for a long time, but that's how we could make that relevant. I love the history tab. That's going to be so great to keep track of things because it is sometimes so hard to keep track of cats, especially when you have an abundance. Let's go ahead and look at her relationships. She doesn't have any family. I love this family page though. I did choose for relationships to be pre-made since this clan has already been around. So we can go ahead and see if there's anybody she likes, dislikes, that kind of thing. It looks like she mostly likes the first row and the second row, which is really good. It looks like Pete Star has good relationships with her cats. She doesn't really dislike anybody, which is excellent for our leader. Now let's look at our deputy. So she's a fantastic teacher, which is excellent for a deputy considering she will probably mentor these kits that are going to grow up. Her experience is slightly low, which does make sense. She's an adult. She may be just recently an adult and therefore is still learning. And their whole terrain has changed from a mountainside into a slick winter barren land, and so they're having to almost relearn. Now for her relationships, it does look as though she doesn't really dislike anybody so far. Also excellent. We could also possibly choose a mate for Patchgorse. Now, we could just say they were already mated at this point. I don't know if there is a breeding bug. If there is, we're about to find out essentially, but let's go ahead and choose a mate for Patchgorse. So I really love the idea of her being with Rush Flood. He is a sneaky male, and I like to imagine that they do sneak off together from time to time. And hopefully it will result in kits, but we will see what happens. And now let's look at our medicine cat. So she is patient and she has a strong connection to Star Clan, and I guarantee they really need Star Clan right now. Her experience is somewhat high, which is great. As for relationships, it looks as though she also doesn't dislike anybody. It looks like all these cats are very strong in their relationship together in a positive manner, which I love to see. That doesn't mean it will always be that way, especially with how dangerous of a situation they're in. Now we have Coyote Acorn, or Coyote Acorn, however you prefer to say this, is hoping no cat saw them trip just now. Oh, that's actually precious, like legitimately precious. She's very smart with her experience somewhat high. As for her relationships, she does very much like Apricot Leaf, which is good. You want to have a good relationship with your medicine cat, I would imagine. But otherwise is kind of mild about everybody, which is okay. But that kind of gives me a hint that she may not have a mate. So let's go on to Kestrel Fire. So Kestrel Fire is a male warrior who's loving, smart, has somewhat high experience, which is very nice. Let's go ahead and look at his relationships. So he actually loves kits. I really love to see that. Has a love relationship, a platonic love for kits, which could mean that he may want kits of his own. And so it's entirely possible that he would be a good option for having a mate if he wants kits of his own. So let's go ahead and pick a mate for Kestrel Fire. We could possibly do Roach Pelt. Let's go ahead and take a look at Roach Pelt before we do that. I probably should have done that with Rush Flood before I made a relationship. Hopefully they don't hate. Oh, they romantically like Kestrel Fire. See, this is why I should have checked. But we could say, oh, but also loves Patch Gorse. So Rush Flood is a bisexual cat, which is very, very cool. Very interesting. I wonder what that means if they're going to be jealous if Kestrel Fire does end up with somebody else. Let's go ahead and see what Roach Pelt has going on. So Roach Pelt doesn't like our leader. I think that's the first time I've actually seen a dislike, but I think it's because they're jealous. It's because the jealousy bar is ticked by 1. So they feel a little bit jealous. Maybe they possibly want to be a leader one day, which is funny considering she's really insecure, but maybe that's why she's jealous, is because she's so insecure. But I still feel as though possibly she may still be a good option for Kestrel Fire. So we'll see how that goes. Perhaps they have just recently started like dating per se, or just seeing if they would be a good match, but they aren't, like, they're official but not. Like, they've made it obvious that they're together, but they're not sure if they are going to have kids together yet. But that could change very quickly, so let's see. So Star Clan has Cherry Heart as the guide. Dark Forest! There's a Dark Forest option! Oh my gosh, that's awesome! This would have been perfect for Hollow Clan. That is so cool! Whoa! Wow! Okay. So let's go ahead and save. Nothing has happened because we haven't moved, so we could go ahead and do some patrols. I'm going to quickly read to make sure there isn't specific instructions for patrols. So there wasn't, actually. If that is the case, we are going to just go ahead and kind of take a little bit of rules from Hollow Clan, saying they must proceed no matter what. They can't be afraid of anything because they have to find food. So this is pretty neat. It shows able cats. So let's go ahead. We're going to send Pete Star and our deputy together and have Patch Gorse's mate go with them. Okay. I think that's good, having a patrol of 3. What does it say? Choose up to 6 cats to go on patrol. Smaller patrols can help cats gain more experience, but larger patrols are safer. I think that since this everlasting winter has become kind of a recent realization for them, that they're like, wow, spring is not coming, that for now they are going to take the safer route, but later they will probably be forced to make smaller and smaller patrols in hopes of getting more prey. Wow, it has a skills and traits tab. It shows you the patrol you can remove all, which I love. These are not highlighted right here. I don't know what they mean, but let's go ahead and send them on patrol. So the patrol finds a kitty pet who is interested in joining the clan. So for the purpose of kitty pets, we are going to say cats that have been living with the 2 legs that are still there. And the reason the kitty pets are trying to escape is because the humans have resorted to eating cats because they're starving. And so they're trying to escape. And so thusly, they are leaving and finding wild cats who they can hopefully stay with. We are going to proceed, and we did convince the kitty pet to join the clan. Now, I am going to take something else from Hollow Clan because I think it would actually make quite a bit of sense for this setting as well. Pete Star is going to make kitty pets and loners do a patrol on their own to see if they are able to survive. And her purpose is going to be that she wants to make sure that if you're going to eat food, that you can get food, because we're not going to take you in and take care of you. You have to take care of yourself. Yes, there is safety in numbers, but I can't promise feeding you. You have to feed yourself. And that is going to be her reasoning, which I think is very smart in a survival situation. So let's go back to patrol. It looks like we have Monzi, that's adorable, a playful warrior, a great teacher who has average experience, and the collar shows that they were indeed possibly chained to something, but were able to escape. So they will have to go on patrol by themselves. Hopefully they survive. Wow, that is excellent. So Monzi, I hope I'm saying that right, did end up catching a bird. So that really shows that they are going to be a huge asset to this clan in possibly surviving the endless winter. And I imagine that Pete Star is going to be very proud and very grateful and almost relieved to have another skilled cat in the clan. So now for our final patrol, let's see how it goes. There are dark clouds in the horizon, and Roachpelt wonders if they should continue. So Roachpelt is very worried, but Roachpelt is also a very insecure cat, so they could be worried for nothing. The cats become wet from the rain, but otherwise the patrol is successful, so that's not so bad, but I imagine they're quite cold. So let's go back to clan and save. All of our patrols are completed, and now we will time skip one moon. So both Roachpelt and Patchgorse announced that they are expecting kits. So we will possibly have kits very, very soon. Let's look at the relationship events. Wow, there's so many. I'm only going to read the negative effects. I hate to focus on the negative, but I do need to know if there are some problems in the clan, because if there are problems between cats, I may not want to send them on a patrol together because it might be more likely that it's unsuccessful. Apricot Leaf complains about Jet Kit. I just realized we didn't actually go over the kits in the cat list, so we may go back and look over those kits. Lake Kit had a huge argument with Jet Kit, which is a negative effect. Kits not getting along is pretty common, but this could affect them into adulthood, and therefore I need to be careful if I put them on a patrol together. Roachpelt had a fight with Pete Star. Now, Roachpelt has some jealousy with Pete Star, and so this could cause a problem. Patchgorse also had a fight with Pete Star. I just want her to be a peach. That's not good, especially since Patchgorse is the deputy. We need them to get along. Otherwise, everything else was very positive. I think because we are already so late in the episode, as far as time goes, we will do one more patrol and one more time skip, but after that, y'all will just have to wait until next time. Oh my gosh, I love this! What? Okay, so let's see. Coyote Acorn found a bunch of pretty cardinal feathers and decided to wear them. Jetpaw has started their apprenticeship, so next time we will get to see how that goes. Roachpelt announces that they will have 2 kits, and Patchgorse thinks they will have 4. What? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. So next time we may potentially have kits, but that does mean rolling for their survival. Let's go back to our cat list. So here is Jetpaw, a female. Kestrel Fire is actually their mentor and is pretending to be the deputy. That is adorable. Here is Lake Kit, is pestering older cats to play with them. A bossy kit, but absolutely precious. I love Lake Kit. And then we have Condor Kit, who I just imagine got their name because they would leap on other cats and all they would see is the shadow before Condor Kit landed on them. A bit of an attention seeker. Very interesting. But now we have Monzi. And Monzi is a bit playful, which is nice. And in their history, it does show that they decided to live with the clan instead of 2 legs, which is great. So this is going to be quite fun. Look at those beautiful feathers. I'm very excited to see where this goes. I hope y'all are too. We will be continuing this next week and into the weeks following. It may just be that one day a week we have 2 videos released instead of 1 when Zoo Quest does finally come back. But if you did like this, make sure you tickle and poke that like button, subscribe to join our family if you want to see more clangen, and jingle that bell so you're notified when it comes out. Also, feel free to join Discord or follow me on Twitch. All of those links are in the description below if you want to hang out with the community on other platforms. I love you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next week for more of Spire Clan in the endless winter. Bye!